lot of people are struggling on Lady Deathwhisper, with there being less logged heroic kills of this boss than the Endwing boss himself, Deathbringer Saurfang. Or on top of that, Blood Queen Lanethel even has more kills. Both of these are supposed to be harder than Lady Deathwhisper, but this fight, only being the second fight in all of ICC, can prove to be one of the hardest encounters, or one of the first stopgap encounters for most raids, and especially most pugs. And the main reason for that is because of things like the mechanics in phase 2, where you're having to deal with a lot of personal responsibility to actually get away from the ghosts. But don't worry anymore, because today I'm going to tell you a cheese strategy that you can use that will almost always guarantee a kill of Lady Deathwhisper. And if you utilize this strategy, your raid or pug will absolutely get this boss down, most likely on the first try, because you can even get this boss down with 15 people alive if you do this correctly. So what is it exactly, and how do we actually execute it properly to make sure that things go smoothly? Okay, so like I mentioned, the part of this fight that will almost always get everybody killed is going to be in phase 2 when dealing with the ghosts. These ghosts will fixate on people and they will just run into the melee camp and just blow up and basically wipe the entire melee camp. Now, the big thing for this is because there's a lot more going on in this phase 2 of this encounter that is going to keep your attention. So a lot of people can't notice these ghosts in particular. It's honestly so frustrating seeing people eat these ghosts, but you won't really have to deal with this very much anymore if we get rid of the other mechanics that are happening in phase 2. Now, if we think about what's going on in phase 2 in particular, there's a few main things we need to focus on. 1, there's ads still spawning. 2, the tank is losing threat, and also the boss needs to be interrupted. So I guess that's 2 and 3. 4, we still have the mind controls going out, and 5, like I mentioned, we have to deal with those ghosts, and you need everybody to be paying attention to that. That's a lot of things going on at once. So we're gonna actually completely reduce all of those things down to make sure that this fight goes down. Because if you don't notice, there is a 10-minute enrage timer. This boss can live forever. So if we deal with things cleanly, then you will basically never have to worry about the enrage, and you will absolutely get the kill. So what we're doing here is going to be ignoring the entire tank buster mechanics, or the entire mechanics of the boss itself during this phase. The things that the boss does to your tank is, for one, touch of insignificance. Basically, whenever the boss is hitting the tank, it is putting this debuff on them, and it is making them take or do 20% reduced threat. Eventually they will get 5 debuffs and they will do 0% threat, which also means you need to do a tank swap, which can definitely get hectic as this boss is not tauntable, and towards the end, as people are just grabbing aggro, the boss is just whomping them, taking them down in one shot, and that's something that just can be a little bit annoying. Also, the tank is having to move and kite the boss during this, which is also having to cause a little bit more issues. But on top of that, the boss casts this frostbolt that will hit the tank for 60,000 damage if it is not interrupted, which we all know that we all need to focus on interrupting this. But instead, what we're going to do is completely mitigate this. We are going to get rid of that mechanic 100%, both of those actually. We're going to deal with the frostbolt itself, and you can see that it is now hitting my tank for 22,000 damage each cast, which is not a significant amount of damage. On average, 22k, that's not taking your tank down in even half of their HP. And the reason for this is because we are going to be using frost resistance. That's right, we are going a full frost resistance set to make sure that we are at above 400. You want to be, well, fully buffed somewhere near like 450, 480 frost resistance, so that you can completely ignore both of those mechanics. Because if you do this, when you move into phase 2, you can actually have the tank just permanently hold on to aggro of the boss, and they will never ever lose threat. You see my tank has permanently gaining threat right here, and what we're doing here is never ever interrupting the frost bolts. Now what we do first as you move into phase 2 is position the boss kind of centrally in the room, but now that the tank mechanics are completely gone, him losing aggro or losing threat generation, and also you don't have to deal with kicking the boss or moving the boss. Now the only things you ever need to focus on are killing the ads and dodging the spirits. That's right, take all of the rest of the things away from people so they don't have more things to focus on, and it's literally all they need to do is kill the ads and dodge the spirits. So I'm gonna hop back to the POV from this GDKP I was in. This is a demon GDKP on reset day, and you'll notice that you could just fight this boss forever. We currently already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people down at this point, and we'll probably lose more. We probably will, but it doesn't matter, because as long as you deal with the normal mechanics, like dodging that ghost that someone just didn't dodge when they have nothing else to worry about, then you can have as few people as you need to get the boss down. We still have 4.5 minutes on this berserk timer, and the strategy you're going to be doing then is have all of your actual DPS specifically focus on getting the ads down. You specifically, if you are not going to be zerging the ads very quickly, want to deal with the ads whenever they spawn, and then for ghost, all you need to do is just dodge them. This is a pug still, like I'm saying earlier, and it is so ridiculously easy if you have only one job and it's just dodge these ghosts, and it'll make things so much easier for your raid. It really can't be understated. And I know there's people out there that are like, just do the mechanics normally and dodge the ghost. I get that, but I can also guarantee you have been in raids where you see this happen. Now I'm again going to show it just specifically from the POV of a very, very undergeared and uncoordinated pug group right now, and you can see that everyone's only job is going to be dodging the ghosts, basically. The second that the ghosts do spawn on the melee, specifically make a call out or just yell at them and everyone run away. And then right as the ads spawn, the same thing will happen. All you need to do is everybody, you can see they move as a group, moves over and deals with the ads. That's it. You never ever interrupt the boss. And because of that, the boss will basically permanently be casting Frostbolt instead of just hitting the boss and casting that touch of insignificance. So things you need to do: grab your frost resistance gear. You can get it right now. The Icebane set for all tanks is BOE. It's very, very easy to grab. Also, things that can be massive would be Cinder Ghost's Flawless Fang, but you probably don't have that yet. You can also enchant some of your pieces, like enchanting your cloak with 20 extra frost resistance, or if you're a leather worker, 70 frost resistance on your bracers. And if you do have the Onyxia ring, this thing is crazy solid for your resistance sets. And as a quick heads up, you can also use this frost resistance set on Cindergosa. Ideally, you have a class that can just run it on Cindy, and if you do, Cindergosa is like a joke. You can basically one tank 90% of the encounter. Only in phase 2 do you ever need to swap tanks, and that's only to drop stacks on your frost resistance tank, and eventually they can just go back and tank the boss. If you are struggling at all on this encounter, make sure to do this. And if you want to know cheese strats for any of the other encounters, I did give secret tips for every single boss to help pretty much everyone down them in the video that might be in the corner, or it might not be in the corner. Just click on my YouTube page if not. Thanks for watching, guys. Of course, make sure to let me know if I missed anything down in the comments, or if you want me to say any of the cheese strategies for any other encounters. Also, I will have some parse guides coming out this week. Specifically, I will hopefully get the DK parse guide done tomorrow, because eventually you are going to be changing the way we play the encounters, and that will change. But for now, you want to be pumping so much, especially your unholy DKs that are hard carrying progression, until everyone else gets kind of online with their 4 set in a couple weeks.